All right. Good morning. This morning I have with me Stephen and Bestiba. And she is, and I kind of probably messed up that name just a little bit because I see it on her face, trying to do the best I can. But they run Dr. Fitness USA, and they have the Institution of International Institute of Body Design. And they have a really super unique program that I wanted to bring to everybody today. And I want them to tell me about their program. So take it away.
Well, actually, it's Batista.
Bestiba.
Batista.
Yeah.
Batista.
Batista.
I get a little tongue-tied, so
Well, it's
I'm
Batista,
sorry.
not the wrestler though, but it's a good comparison. She's like the female side. And again, I own the International Institute of Body Design. I'm an international body designer, if I may. And the question you have for Matt is,
tell me about what exactly you do. What is body design, and why is it so important for women?
well, you can look at a room as somebody that paints a room, and then you can go to interior decorator, and that's a whole different premise of how something would be put together. So to be successful, a person needs to have a positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be in the right environment or the right pair of shoes to be comfortable walking, and they need an education of what avenue they would follow. Hopefully they would follow somebody that has a success rate in helping them achieve their visions or their goals. And that the program that they choose would be sustainable for the rest of their life. The reason we use sustainable is because for whatever reason or relationship we wind up into, there's things that we are not taught. Stress and hormones and how the body changes through the ages, and the way that the dynamics of intellectual information is transformed between male and female changes dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you can have a beautiful relationship, and the woman might say to the man, could be the woman too, that the relationship is not working. It's because we have different ideas. That's not necessarily true. What they don't understand is that as males get older, they become more feminized and they want to find fun things to do. So they want to hang out with their woman, could be a man, it's as if it's one of their buddies, but women produce more progesterone, and they become more masculinized and more creative as they get along in life. So they want to actually be in their thinking mode. So they'll perceive, oh, this is not working for me. No, it's just a question of balancing out your activities or putting aside time so that you can enjoy each other's company. So in the physical fitness world, there's if a person has a mindset about exercise, there's a lot of choices. So if we went to a business meeting and we were talking to a person, they might say, I do Pilates or I do yoga. Now there's a natural phenomenon when we're talking to women, they do not ask clarifying questions. They say, oh, I do yoga. I do Pilates, as if it's the only thing in the world, because fitness incorporates many different modalities, and they don't create good relationships, especially with men, because they cut them off without asking them clarifying questions. We don't figure women out. We can respond to some information they might ask us. So yoga and Pilates, we don't put it aside. It could be very well part of one person's life. But as time goes on, we want to be able to slow down the aging process, create stronger bones, and offset osteoporosis. And yoga will not do that. The reason is that we don't have to get too technical is it just uses different muscle fibers. If on the far end, it would be classified as either meditation or aerobic, but it's not muscle building type of quality exercise that forces your body to adapt to a greater stress. So going back to the relationship, if two men meet, and one's a doctor, they'll say, oh, what specialty do you do? Or if you're a dentist or periodontist. When it comes to, I do yoga. There's no conversation. There's no outlet. Even in personal training, in a gym, and we run into a female personal trainer, she said, personal trainer. Okay? Two guys will say, geez, what do you specialize in? So women come together in groups, but they're not really group oriented. If you're in the Army, you put guys in a foxhole, they'll all bond together. But women don't bond together that way. They're very attack at each other. And in a way, they don't really support each other. They support each other in a group. But I thought as a male that through the ages that if Batista, who has life experience, would bond with women, that things would be better understood. I find when she talks to women, the women are actually ruder or less coherent than men are. I have no time, I don't have no money, I have no energy, I'm busy, hurrying up. 4 fears, 4 things that say that a woman is on the way to the psychiatric coach: hurrying up, pleasing others, being strong, pleasing others. These are the strengths of a man. They're not the strengths of a woman. The strengths of a woman is a woman who loves herself first and shares her love with somebody that takes good care of her, and somebody that looks inside before she looks out. And she's not really in a hurry. She can guide herself so that she doesn't burn out. So when it comes to activity, the strongest anti-aging component is strength training. It's factually proven. And in today, when we look at the younger generation, and in LA Fitness too, you know, we have older people too, and they're all in the same arena because it becomes community. Because parents today want to understand their children. It's actually impossible to understand your child in today's world because it's too technical. Okay? But if they go to the gym, if the parents go to the gym, the children are members of the gym, that's where they will be able to say hello to their children. They'll be able to bond with their children, and they'll know that their child hopefully is safe. That's their common ground. But people don't realize that right now. So the issues that I have with men, we're going to get back to women, is that when women stay in their intellectual mind 24 hours a day, they ruin their immune system. They get sick. They even die. Because you're estrogen based, your body can't process all that information. Men are testosterone based, so you give them a problem, they'll be okay for the moment. But women have a really hard time when they are thinking too much. And once they go thinking too much, they cannot escape. So there's 2 ways that women protect themselves. One is they go up inside their intellectual mind and they live there and they cut off their body. The second part is that their nervous system is so weak, could be a person that's too thin, that they're so weak that they have emotional reactions without thinking first. They react and then they think about it afterwards. So when they do strength training, it allows them to do something that's very endearing to their body. And so where body design comes in is people think of personal training. Personal training is a performance activated activity. It's adding to the stress that women already have. See, they want a place to just be quiet and just enjoy a comfortable exercise. So first of all, they're thinking, I have to work out 5 days a week. Oh, I see CrossFit. They have all these images. Then the one that's more motivated says, okay, now I'm going to get a personal trainer. Well, personal trainers are there to motivate you to do more than you would by yourself. That's how they make money.
Right.
They are not going to get you a comfortable pair of shoes. And the sequence of exercises that they give you have nothing to do with your body. See, I'm in Gold's Gym, LA Fitness. I'm pretty sensitive when I'm thinking of a woman's, how she would feel exercising, and I see what goes on around me. I'm actually the gym detective on YouTube. It's amazing how painfully submissive women are in a gym. When they have a commander, whether it's a man or a woman, they will do exercise that actually hurts them. They split their face. It's really hurting them. And they continue showing up. The more they're abused, the more they think they're losing weight. So now we have another category of women that are overweight. Mm-hmm. Everything in the world is geared towards losing weight. Mm-hmm. So their premise is that either you go on some special diet, or that you hire a trainer that's going to whip you into shape. Okay? In body design, I read the music to the body, so you need a certain musical score that makes sense to who you are. And you need a plan of action of what to do if you were to join a gym or go into a gym and actually do exercise that feels good to your body. And the exercise needs to increase your strength 20 to 50% in about 20 minutes, because that's how you control the nervous system. So the personal training is not, so what I'm getting at is, it's a cat trying to catch its tail. Can you imagine? I've never been like 250 pounds, okay? I can't imagine a woman or a man that has all this weight sitting on a bicycle or a treadmill trying to lose weight. There are $500,000 worth of machines in a gym that they can have fun on. You know, I take pictures of LA Fitness. It's got $500,000 machines. Where are all the women? They're on treadmills. The gym is empty. Yeah. It just amazes me.
Yeah. I think that strength training, especially for women 40 to 60-ish, is a generational thing. I think there's a whole generation of ladies that haven't really done strength training, and I think that's why this is important to talk about as well. So your program is pretty much individual then, is that correct?
Batista is the highest level teacher in the world. She's written 4 books. She has another one that's a bestseller. She was a professional dancer. She did all the spiritual things from Buddhism to Kabbalah, all those things. And when she met me, she learned a system that grounded her body, that gave her the avenue to stop the changes in her body. And, you know, if we go fast 8 years, we can see that she showed up as a different shape. So in body design, the premise is to change a fat cell for a muscular cell. The weight loss won't do it. Now, another thing I want to add is you don't have to be a bodybuilder to strength train. It doesn't matter what shape, what size, what age, or whatever it is. It's the easiest, most fun thing to do. But the women will not listen. I'm telling you, they do. So I go to a mixer or a chamber mixer, and I'm looking at the woman, and you can see that she's well dressed. She's a certain accomplishment. I do yoga. Man, your body, and I'm not telling her this, is on the verge of osteoporosis. Her shoulders are rolled forward. She has very poor posture, and she's thin like a rake. She's using up muscle tissue for her very breathing. But they don't open themselves up to communication, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? Sometimes I call a woman and I say, even last night I went out, I say to the massage therapist, she said, I told you I'm not doing your program. Now I'm looking across the table. She's a massage therapist. She's got a brain massage type of whatever it is. She's gained 20 pounds of fat. It's dripping down her. And now she's addressing, I say, well, in my mind, I'm thinking as a male, man, you should have paid attention. Okay, now I approach her, I'm not going to do your program, okay? Hey, what does that got to do with the program? All I did was ask you to come in for a conversation. She says, oh, I says, you know that time for a man is a gift. I gave you the gift of time. I didn't ask any money out of you. I wanted to know more about your business so I could refer people to you, and this is how you answer me. And this type of activity is across the board.
So can I say something here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I say something here? Sure.
Yeah.
It's great. But I want to address what you said about the generational thing.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, the way I perceive it, this issue about, women in our generation, and I think it is exactly generational, and it's the truth, because in our days, we weren't brought up with strength training. We were brought up with aerobics.
Right.
We were brought up with aerobics, and then we were brought up, and then yoga came along. Okay.
Right.
So for me personally, I was actually the typical, I had the typical perception of what strength training, bodybuilding was. All that he's talking about, I was like that. I was a dancer. I had done yoga. I had done everything. And the truth of the matter is I thought too that bodybuilding or strength training was going to make me bulky. Or that because, I was starting to have a lot of injuries from dancing, that I did catch that actually the strength training can help with injuries, So I had a lot of these misconceptions myself, and that's why I understand. But the difference with me is that not only I had tried everything and I was at a dead end, so I was pretty desperate, okay? And I was a dancer. I was still making a living with dancing. So for me, it was almost a matter of do or die. And when I heard Steven's conversation, I had worked with personal trainers. I had done the whole, all the stretching, all the yoga, all the Pilates, all the meditation, all the positive thinking, all the acupuncture, everything. Yet I was kind of losing the grip. And when I heard the conversation, even though it seemed a little strange, I decided that I hadn't tried that, because he wasn't talking about just doing bodybuilding or doing strength training. He was giving me concepts like never doing anything that's uncomfortable. Now, as a dancer, we don't hear that. We always have to do everything that's uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's what the fitness industry is about. That's what he was explaining earlier, is the fitness industry is based on performance. Always doing things that, not necessarily that are uncomfortable, but always pushing further. Okay? So I have to say that I understand why a lot of women react the way they do, but because I was one, but I also know that by experience, I see now, and I've done a lot of research and I've written books about the system, that there is a different way and a different ways that really works. And I see it as the way of the future.
Yeah, I think strength training is huge for keeping us young. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think it's the number one anti-aging modality. It's the fountain of youth. You just have to Google, like yesterday I saw another video of this bodybuilder. She's 80 years old.
That's myself.
Right? Oh, you posted that.
Yeah, I did.
You posted that. Yeah, that was great. And it's the fountain of youth.
The thing is, okay, so I want to interject
here. Okay, go for it.
All this is great. Okay. I'm 69 years old, And my whole life has been dedicated to empowering women to set better standards and take care of themselves. Okay?
Okay.
So just like any cosmetic surgery or any modality, or if you haven't taken care of your car, it's going to cost you a lot. Because it's a body design formula, it needs to, there's like 26 hours of intellectual work to go into developing a program that makes sense for one person's body. It's very, very complex. It's a 2 or 3 month work on my part to get the person on their way to a system sustainable and that they appreciate what they're learning and they put value into it. So when Batista came along, she wanted me not to just do that specialized person that basically had the money to afford it. I look at it as, I don't know, you need you know, if you have a toothache, you're going to find the money. If your car goes flat, you're going to find the money. What she was able to do is she discovered that I was like Einstein and I'm in fact a genius in what I'm doing. And over 8 years, she's put the system together so under $2,000, a woman can have a program, never hire a personal trainer, and start to be 15 to 20 years younger and start to support herself and being a much healthier person. So I have to I have to say that I say I'm an author, but authentically, Batista wrote all the books.
Well, we work together.
There you go.
We work together. I write, and then he oversees and makes all the adjustments.
I'm really the feminine person. Men create off their feminine, so that's why I say she wrote the book. Women actually create off their intellectual mind, and it comes out as a feeling. That's why they can be overworked very easily. So her programs is an attestation to the greatness and outlook that she has for women to support her in calling her and talking with her and actually taking action and getting the program, which is super affordable, and it'll add years to their life. And we know a lot of people that didn't listen to us and they're dead, just like that, just overnight, dead, for whatever reasons it is. And the feedback is always, if you would have done Dr. Fitness USA's program, the chances are you would be here a lot longer. So now I want to have a pause there because they always say, is there a doctor in the house? And of course, Fitness USA. And that's Dr. Fitness USA. And some of the qualifications I have that I have made headway is I became the first person in the world to create strength training programs for endometriosis. Mm-hmm. That number's 175 million women. There was nobody else creating programs that even if they were in pain and things were happening, that they could physically pick up my program and relieve 90% of the pain. And then we became the first person in the world to create strength training programs for addiction and stress control. Because when you what's unique about what we do is when I say I strengthen the nervous system, if I can go to explanation, but I won't. If I can increase your strength 20 to 50%, we can override your nervous system in 20 minutes, not 6 months of therapy, 8 months of therapy and hoping. So we don't work on hope, we work on facts. Everything is recorded and analyzed and it's transparent. And I wanted to go back to the woman that says, I do strength training. So I say, oh, you do? Really? She didn't ask any question. How much weight do you lift? 10 pounds. That's not strength training. That's aerobic activity. So that's why Batista's become so important, because she has coaching calls where she can support the women in understanding how to use the program and how to gauge the weight. Because from our experience, the weight is too light or too heavy. They don't know exactly what their capacity is.
Right.
But for a normal woman, get this, She needs to lift for her the legs and her leg strength. She actually has to lift at least 275 pounds once a week to maintain muscle mass.
Wow.
Push, leg press.
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah, but they don't know what that means. They're already thinking, oh my God, that's too much. That's too much, right? No, it's because we have an ergonomic system. We have the secret sauce so that you don't hurt yourself. And because the program is taught at a certain low level so that your brain and your body processes it. So like a man shows up, well, I'll give you a man, and he says, okay, I'm Gold's Gym. And he says, where's my warm-up? Because he sees, no, this is your warm-up. You just have to sit on it and push. He says, oh, that's why I hated training.
So as a side note about this strength increase that we are able to do, when a person comes and work one-on-one with Stephen, we are able to do that 20 to 50% strength increase in 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes. Because of the ergonomics, because of the way to manipulate the weight range, the scale, the reps, to move that along in 20 minutes. So the amazing, incredible thing now with the online programs that we put together is that with the online programs and the coaching calls, we are able to do this in 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Okay, because online we have to be a little more careful, and we don't want anybody to get hurt, and and it's online. I mean, when you're physically with somebody, you can, it's easier. So I am very excited, and it's proven now. We've done it enough time, right? So this is a very exciting news, because 6 weeks is not that much time. Like you could work 10 years and never get there if you don't know what you're doing, right?
Right.
So we're really able to transform lives with the system now.
So tell me, I want to interrupt really quick. Tell me, what's the significance for women, because I want our listeners to understand the significance of that 20 to 50% more strength, because they may not understand what that really means to their everyday life.
Okay,
so can
sure.
You tell me about that?
Okay.
Do you want to answer that?
Okay.
We both answer that. Start.
Okay. Hopefully, in a normal situation, in a female's brain, she has a large connective tissue between left and right side of the brain. So she's able to think simultaneously and multitask. Okay. When the physical strength of the body goes down, it's like there's not enough electricity to run all your electrical products in the house. Or your computer doesn't have enough bandwidth. It just won't happen. So the strength, as time goes on, you don't realize it, you don't have a way of testing it, actually diminishes. If it drops below 30%, so when women come to see me, they're shocked that they've lost 70% of their physical body strength. So it's an automatic reflex. They'll either go intellectual and kill their body, or they can't control their emotions. Like a waiter that can't hold up the tray, he keeps dropping. He doesn't know why, he's not conscious of it. And I can relate it into my own experience, which Batista finds really funny, is a lot of times when my strength goes down, because I'm older, and I think I'm in perfect control, and I'm going to park the car, and she talks to me, I drive directly into the sidewalk. That's an emotional reaction.
Uh-huh.
So I actually use the program myself, but a woman that's out of control doesn't understand that, and she doesn't realize that the strength in her body is mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens, because when you have physical strength, instead of saying, I have no time, money, or energy, or I have to look after the kids, and my husband like this, there's women that are talking so fast. What happens is they are able to delegate their time better. They're able to not feel that they're going to lose out or do one more. Or the person that has low strength is always under the impression if I just do one more thing.
Yeah. So can I
Yes.
can I emphasize on this? So what it does is it quiets the mind, okay, and it strengthens the nervous system. So the nervous system is what's responsible for the healing of the body. So if you can strengthen the nervous system, you give your body a place to rest and where it activates the natural healing properties of the body. Okay, and this is how, along with other reasons, but this is one of the reasons why this program is so efficient with pain management. You know, this is how we're able to develop those programs for endometriosis, because, you know, you quiet the nervous system. And then there is other components such as postural alignment and muscular imbalances that go into consider, you know, in effect as well. But that's one of the main reasons. And another reason about strength is just for general health. It strengthens the immune system, which is also the same concept of the nervous system, but also for women, especially for women, it's helping to fight osteoporosis. Okay. Now, statistics say that 1 out of 5 women, 1 out of 3 women, 1 out of 5 men over 50 will have osteoporosis. 1 of 3 women, it's huge. Mm-hmm. It's huge. Mm-hmm. And it's reversible and it's preventable. Mm. Okay.
And, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's preventable, it's reversible, and strength training and that strength increase is the number one thing that will prevent and help reverse it. Number one. So the sooner a person starts, the better they are, because it's cumulative.
Right.
Right? If the person waits until they're 65 and they fell and they already broke a bone, and, you know, you start when you're 30, build a strength, and then you stay stronger, you'll have more quality of life. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about just simply, you want to be just very matter of fact, you have more strength, life is easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's not get too metaphysical. That's simple. Okay. Yeah. Pick up your grocery, you want to have a backache.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean? So that's my
okay. Yeah. So we go to the wine mixer, Art. You have an established couple. The man is in his Navy suit, and he's maybe 60, 63 years old. And he's standing there like a bump on a log. He's got no conversation. His wife is about almost 300 pounds, and I overhear the conversation. She's suffering sciatic nerve problems. She's in terrible pain. Well, of course, I can tell by the tonality of what's going on that she's in serious pain. When I try to talk to her, there's no conversation. Oh, I do a stretch exercise. I went to therapist, must be working. I'm not interested in talking about anything else. Now, where I'm going with that conversation, this is a man. I look physically together, right? You would think that if you say, Stephen, you know, I know you might not be a doctor or you are a doctor. My wife is suffering a little bit of pain. Do you have any ideas for me? No, they feed off each other's sickness. So I'm telling the women, do not expect the men to take the standard of taking care of you. You need to be responsible in every relationship. You first. It does not depend on your significant other half. Even in a women's relationship, where women come to me and say, well, I'm with a woman and she doesn't. Hey, you have to understand it's your body and your time, because if you wind up 2 or 3 years later and your body is like an old mattress, there's going to be problems in the relationship. We have that with men and women, so it's not just women, but the women need to understand you women are stronger than us men. Okay? There's no man that's as strong as a woman. You're built to go on. And when you say, to conclude that is, so we watched the movie Altitude with Dolph Lundgren or whatever it is. They hijacked the plane, and he's meaner than God. He's sitting in the airplane, and the woman is a sharp blonde, and she's communicating with him, and she says, he goes, ah, ah, ah. She says, that's the way you talk to me? And he goes like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you see? So when women say no or they stand their ground, they will do better.
Mm.
Do not go up to your husband or who's second man and say, do you want to spend some money on me? He's going to say no. We are men teach, preach, control. We try to get the least deal for you. At least I don't with Batista. And it's up to you to set the standard to treat yourself better. You always come first, not your kids, not your husband. You come first. And if you don't take care of your body, you're going to, in time, it's going to be a difficult journey.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why we have more problems. I think physically sometimes because we do take care of the kids, we do take care of the families, we do take care of all this stuff. And sometimes we don't make time for ourselves, right? Because everybody needs something else. And so, when women are weight training, I think the concept is that they have to do it 5 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever. And so in your program, what is it that you teach as far as weight training? Because I think that's significant to your unique program.
Would
Can you
like
talk
to
about
explain
that a minute?
Yeah, the beauty.
Well, first of all, I'm going to let her speak. The male side is when somebody comes into my office, and I ask it actually more endearing when I'm face to face. Say, okay, I'm a visual person, but the point is, when they come in, whether it's a male or female, they always say, well, how many times a week do I have to work out? And do you diet? Do you do aerobics? And I go, whoa, that's a myth. You see where you're at in life. You need a business plan. You need a direction. You need somebody to hold your hand, to guide you. You can't just get up and think that you're going to change your body after 30 years. It just doesn't happen that way.
So the beauty of this program is just because it addresses the foundation of the body and you get that incredible strength increase, it stays with you. You're really addressing the structural alignment of your body. It's not like doing a lot of things. So you don't have to train 5 times a week. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't, okay? So the motto we have is train when you can and rest when you can. And the strength will stay with you, and it does, okay? It's cumulative. You go maybe once a week. We have people that they go once a week, then they go twice a week, then they don't go, and now they're 4 times a week. Then you know what I mean? It's like Steven says, it's like owning a car. It's a beautiful car, whatever. You park it in the garage, and when you want to go take it for a ride, you take it for a ride. So it's not about having to train every day, 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. It's not like this because it's a system.
Right.
It's a system, okay?
So a lot of times, when you say women, they're apt to do more. So they see something like CrossFit, okay? Or they see there are groups that actually gather women together and they do activity in the park. And in this activity, the women are thinking, well, I'm losing the weight, I'm getting in shape. I think that the person is using a misnomer. It's not happening for them because the person's body is out of alignment and it needs to be on a supportive piece of equipment that supports the structure of their body. So if somebody was round and overweight and they were running up a hill, they would make the condition worse. but in their logical mind, they think they're being motivated. They don't, you know, women say, I need to be motivated, I'm lazy. There is no truth to that. All you have to do for a woman is show her about 6 exercises, and she'll be back at the gym training. One, because it quiets her mind, and she doesn't have to think, and it automatically increases the strength in her body so that she can handle her daily activities more appropriately. Mm-hmm. And 10 pounds, again, is not going to do it.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is when I say, what's my evidence that women don't listen? I have medical doctors, success stories, that actually say the program is stronger than medicine. I have a doctor, dentist, that actually gets online and says, I refer all my patients that you need to do this program, and they still don't listen. So my question out there is, when are the women going to stop being so masculinized and start to take back their feminine essence of who they are and become more loving and more nourishing and more giving to others? So what's interesting is Batista got me watching Hallmark movies, okay? So in every Hallmark movie, there's always a third party. In other words, the person says, I'm divorced, I don't want to speak to men, I never want to go out, I'm too busy, and she's busy. And the third person says, no, you got to give the guy a chance, you work too much, I'm going to take you out dress shopping. Okay, in the real world, there's no third-hand person. If I'm a woman and I don't want to work out, I might share it with somebody, but they don't do that. The women have become very self-centered, and they don't share activities with other women that might benefit them. They make decisions for them. Mm. Yeah, so I'm trying to, I'm not trying, I'm doing it to be, for women to be more open and kind to each other and know that it's important to have a vision for tomorrow. Because today might not be so good, but tomorrow might be terrific, and you want to be around for tomorrow. So if you're going to be, so last story here, the painter comes in, he's painting the roof. He says, you know, if I thought I was going to live so long, I would have taken better care of my body. Okay, so that's another thing. And I would suggest that because Batista spent 8 years learning that, can you see this book?
I surely can.
This is called Feminine Body Design, and I think every woman should read it, because everything that we're talking about will explain in simple detail some of the options and what we're relating here, so that we don't bamboozle them with so much intellect and dialogue, and we don't work on hope. And all these seminars that women are doing, or all these spiritual events, sounds really good, but in the end, it's more intellectual data going in their mind. In every master in the world, the way they get grounded is they go do something physical. So the physical activity that I would suggest is to go to drfitnessusa.com. You have to put USA.com. And listen to some of the interviews or reviews or loads of information on there. And it's not to sell you something, it's to start to introduce quiet conversation to your ears, because the feminine part of a woman is auditory. So if it sounds good, it means a good deal. But most women are going too much like a male in a combative state of mind. So they're not giving really the men the respect that they need to take better care of themselves. Too voice opinionated. They talk too fast. There's another thing is when they leave messages, they scramble their words. Men, we're slow thinkers. When I talk to a man, I kind of almost spell it out. This is Dr. Fitness USA. It's too, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting.
So can I say something?
Sure you can.
It's a little bit off the topic, but it's to go back to the 10 pounds, you know, and the weight, because a lot of the women are intimidated by big weights.
For sure.
So I just want to say a couple of words about that. First of all, it's not about doing more weight and the heavier weight and always more weight. It's not about that, okay? And it's not that every exercise has to be a lot of weight either, okay? What it is about is to do the right amount of weight proportionately to the person so that it's enough weight to start to make those structural alignment, to start moving things along, okay? So for a person, it might be so much. For another person, it might be something else, okay? There is kind of an average because by experience, we know kind of, it should be about that. But once the person has reached that amount of weight, that's enough, then it's enough. Like I've reached a place where I'm not even doing more weight ever. I'm doing less, You know what I mean? And it's not for all exercises, because there are certain exercises that require much less weight. Proportionately, and there is a weight ratio that happens. Like if you do so much on a chest press, for example, then comparatively you would do so much less on a shoulder press or on a fly, So there is a certain way of estimating which amount of weight each exercise has to be compared to the whole.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? And that is one of the primary wonders of this program, because it puts everything into balance. And I get to tell you that every single woman that I've worked with and coached with and guided through those online programs, they're way off. Way off. They would do so much more weight on something that requires very little weight. There's no real clue of how that looks like, But when it works like this, and when you do it with this method, that's the system.
Right.
He invented this. He created this. When you do it with this system, everything gets into balance. The posture is realigned. The muscular imbalances gets better. You get stronger. The pain in your body disappears. And then you get a beautiful feminine figure. See, people say, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to do big weight, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's about being in balance. Because a lot of women, they do a lot of things for their legs, for example. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they'll have like toned legs, and you see the mini skirts, the high heels, woo, nice. And then you look up and there's like skinny arms, or, nothing up here, So it's about making everything into balance. And that's the system that he
Right. So it's shaping the entire body, not just working on one chest or arms or hips or whatever. It's shaping your body as an entire system.
Exactly. And addressing all the synergetic muscles, like you could do a side raise with a certain amount of weight, and then you lean a different way, and you do it with less weight. So you start building. This is how I got rid of my shoulder injury. I couldn't even move my arm. When I started, I had a frozen shoulder, but by working, and so sometimes more weight, sometimes less weight, but all in balance to create that long, lean, feminine physique.
Awesome.
Well, we're looking at the body more like a yoga master. An analogy that I give today is, even with all our conversation, people say, well, what's the difference between you and a trainer? It just amazes me. So the thing is, if you went to an acupuncturist and that was your method, you would hope that they would put the needle in the right meridian to treat whatever they're seeing you for. Okay? Trainers put needles everywhere. Okay? And then the ones that do really good work, what they're doing, they're hitting muscle groups. There's no stretching in their training routine. It's just straight muscle. They're doing something for the arm, the back. So in my system, when people start to do it, they get an aha moment. Their mind starts to expand. that sends more oxygen to certain parts of their brain that they never experienced before. They always come back, because we have videos that show people that took the program 30 years ago and they're still using it. It's sustainable.
Awesome.
So it follows you actually through the years. You know, and on my website, there is some videos of success stories where when I talked about the dentist, she's on camera and she says that 3 orthopedic surgeons told her that she needed an immediate operation for a shoulder tear. And she's on camera, she demonstrates that she didn't do any of those suggestions. She just did my program and she is perfect. She demonstrates she has perfect movement. And even to my eyes, at 58 years old, she looks 40. She even shows herself in the gym. It's astounding. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And so it's important for women to understand, I know what I want to add. Those programs are set up in a way that they give you the little steps to actually get out of the chair and to take action. They just have to go 1, 2, 3, or correspond with Batista and myself, and we can guide them to something that's really additive, so they can be the best they can be in life. But they need to always take the first step and actually communicate, because what happens is, for women, as soon as they go away from the seminar, they go back to their same environment doing the same thing. And when they don't have the strength, they can't stop the flow of stress. You see, a person in a ghetto, and you see that in the movie, once they go educated, they go back to the ghetto and there's trouble, they have enough strength to go away again. So you need to use strength training as a tool to strengthen your body so that you can be better in life for yourself.
And strengthen your mind at the same time, right?
It's all connected.
There you go. That's totally it. Well, you know what, you guys, it's been awesome. And man, I really appreciate your time and your energy, because I think you guys really have a really unique system for women. And I really am happy that you got to join me today. And tell everybody where they can get the book. Are we giving a link for the book?
Yeah, I sent you a book. Okay. I sent you a link to a report that explains some of the things that we've talked about, you know, the no time and the difference between the different modalities. So that's available for free. People can download it. I gave you the link. You're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there so they can get the information. And yeah.
And of course, you can visit our website, drfitnessusa.com, and doctor is DR. And I also want to say just a little shout out for our partner at endopositive.org, because it's a big part of our work is working with women who have endometriosis, which is a little bit of a dark secret kind of, a lot of people don't know about what the women with endometriosis
for
suffer.
Sure.
And we're very happy and proud that we are able to assist in that area. So anybody that suffers from endometriosis, please do go to endopositive.org and see the resources that are available there, including our programs. And
sure, and I could suggest once they get to the website that they pick up the phone and they call us so that they can have correspondence with Batista. It'll be a little more difficult to get to myself. Okay, not because I'm too busy, okay, because I'm working with the women's emotions.
Right.
Sometimes when a woman is coming in to see me, she's seeing me as the bad cop. But I'm the one that's going to create the answer for her or introduce her to the thing. So they want to speak. Afterwards, they go to Batista. They want to speak to Batista, and he's the
He's
soft
not
guy.
always that diplomatic.
Okay.
All right, I hear you guys. Well, we're out of time for today,
Okay.
but I so appreciate you guys joining me, and it's been an awesome time, and I think we really had some great conversation for our listeners today. So
thank you for having us.
I thank you guys so much for joining me today.
So if your mind can conceive it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.